Have you heard of the Federal Reserve of America? Well, you would think that that was owned by the American government, wouldn't you? And it is not. It is privately owned. And what happened was that Rothschild sent his emissary, trusted, loyal emissary called Jacob Schiff, to America to be introduced to a bank called Kuhn and Loeb. And Jacob Schiff immediately set out to marry the daughter of Kuhn, which he did, and then with the money of Rothschild took it over and moved the bank to New York. So there was Rothschild's set up in the bank in New York. They already practically owned the Bank of England, but now they wanted banks in America because banks have the power and the strength. So there was Mr. Schiff, and his first job was to get rid of the money of America. So he set to work to suborn people in leading positions in the government. It may sound crazy to you, but it can be done for money if you have it. He also took the leading banks, and with Rothschild's money gave them all the extras they needed to expand and grow and grow and grow. He suborned government people so that in the end the Senate, the whole of the government setup, was practically run by Rothschild's people. Can you imagine that sort of situation? Gradually, the power of America, which started in a very good, healthy way, as did ours, was being seeped away and getting into the hands of people like these rulers who've been bought. And you can go through all the names, including Roosevelt and Hoover, all the names you know so well, they all belong to this CFFR, Council for Foreign Relations. And that's what they called themselves. So everybody who was in the CFR, you knew, was a traitor to his country. Now, just as they've suborned everything in America and own practically everything, because they own the banks, they own the newspapers, they own the press, they own the media, they own Hollywood, they own the magazines, they own the journals, they own literally everything. So they run America. And they do the same thing over here. They have to get rid of families. They put parents against children, children against parents. They have to get rid of all faiths and religions. They have to get rid of all feelings of sovereignty and freedom. And how do they do this? Well, one way they do it is by imposing fear, naked fear. Now, I don't suppose anybody in this room except me remembers World War I. But you certainly remember World War II. And you remember the bombs crashing in on London and the fear of their lives of people. I know, my family were in it. My family suffered from it too. We were all in it. And if you put fear into people's minds, they tend in the end to panic. Not that our people did in London and elsewhere, but fear was certainly there. And the demand for peace grows day by day, month by month, year by year. And if people are willing to settle for certain odd situations in order to have peace, then you can work the oracle and persuade them to do things you want them to do. And gradually you take their freedom away from them, and their liberty, and their sovereignty, and they're left with what? The police are under instruction from the government acting from the European Union, all these orders. Remember, over 80% of the laws of this country now come direct from Brussels and just whistle their way through Parliament. So they're actually doing practically no work at all. Parliament has no value. Peter Lilly actually stood up in Parliament a couple of weeks ago in answer to members of Parliament who were asking for more money and bigger allowances, and said, for the amount of work we do, don't you think 50% reduction might be better? He was howled down.